Okay, shalom everyone. I got the sock on my phone. This is the same windy place I've been the last 2 days, so hopefully with the sock on you'll hear my voice and you won't get any wind and still be able to enjoy the beautiful, beautiful view that you can see. My name's Daniel Lee. I'm here in Juneau, Alaska. If you're new to my channel, my mission statement is very clear. I preach and teach the Hebrew Jewish roots of the Christian faith on my website, spiritandtorah.com. I exalt Jesus, Yahshua, the Holy One of Israel. He is the only way, truth, and the life. I expose satanic pedophiles through investigative reporting on my YouTube channel. I've been doing this for well over a year now. I provide satanic ritual abuse survivors a platform to speak out on. I protect the innocent children by virtue of these other things. And I lead a nightly Zoom room prayer meeting. Every single night, we pray for President Trump, this nation, the subscribers, and each other. And we'll pray for you as well. Okay, so I thought I would take a break from the whole Dayton, Ohio, Cincinnati, Toledo, the whole Ohio child sex trafficking. But people keep saying, no, Daniel, we want you to continue on. And I keep getting, just when I think I've gotten to the bottom of the barrel, it's like I find another million-mile bottomless hole that exposes more of the child sex trafficking. Again, I started this because of the Dayton mass shooting and its connections to the satanic pedophilia. So this lady, she didn't give me permission to use her name. So she said, as I've said in a previous email, I graduated and worked for OSU, Ohio State University, as a BSN for about 15 years. There are evil people for sure in the Ohio State University administration. Les Wexner pays scholarships for many physicians, surgeons, and medical specialists that are employed at hospitals across the U.S. By the way, again, if you're new to this, Les Wexner was very close friends with Jeffrey Epstein. Jeffrey Epstein handled huge amounts of money for Les Wexner. Les Wexner owned Victoria's Secret. Q has exposed Les Wexner and how close he has been to Epstein, and he's, now he's trying to distance himself from Epstein with all that's come out. But Les Wexner is likely a satanic pedophile himself. In fact, the whole Victoria's Secret model agency was used as a vehicle for child sex trafficking and underage children, underage models to be trafficked, children being trafficked across the world. So Les Wexner pays scholarships for many physicians, surgeons, and medical specialists that are employed at the hospitals across the U.S. I've had many experiences that I've questioned, but only several come to mind that I can give you a resource to. I've never felt comfortable with any of the chaplains at the hospital. They make me feel uneasy, not like you think a person of God should make you feel. Here's a link I think you should read about where OSU chaplain education comes from. It says a lot if you ask me, and I'll provide a link to this, what she provided. Ohio State University, there is a Wexner Center for the Arts. The arts, as you can imagine, is really weird. The art that's contained there is really weird. In 2014, I went to a showing at the gallery. Some of the artwork was abstract paintings depicting women giving birth to human organs. Now, if you've seen some of my videos from the recent and even distant past about organ trafficking, human organ trafficking, and how that's related to the whole child sex trafficking, satanic ritual abuse, you'll know how that plays in. And I'm going to be doing some more feature videos on that as well. But this artwork actually depicted women giving birth to human organs. Yes, organs, not babies. Very strange art in 2014, but now it makes some sense. Recently learning about the organ harvesting. Okay, she says that. I searched the internet but couldn't find any of these pictures or artwork. Not sure if they would still be displayed there or not. Here's a link for the Center of the Art. So this was probably an exhibit or a display they had in 2014 that they've since removed. You touched on the mall that Wexner, this was the mall, by the way, that Wexner and Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm going to touch on him a little bit more on this video as well. The mall that they built together, the Limited brand, owns in Columbus, but he also owns part of the Green, which is an upscale shopping mall in Dayton, right there in Dayton, Ohio. Not sure if that had been mentioned, so I'll provide a link to that as well. Yeah, Wexner owns a bunch of properties throughout Ohio, actually, that I'm finding out, and of course Epstein and Wexner had that joint venture, specifically of the very upscale community that they built in New Albany, Ohio. Now, this next lady, let's see, no, she didn't give me permission to use her name either. Attached, Daniel, please find a post that was on LinkedIn regarding the Dayton, Ohio human trafficking and organ trafficking connection. This person who posted this mentioned Dayton and the hospital corridor specifically. Evidently, there's a lawsuit against people that are involved in the Kettering, that's Kettering hospital system. Anyway, I thought this was interesting. I wanted to send it to you. So she sent this to me. This is from the Reverend Richard Simpkins, who posted this. I was raped and tortured at Grandview Medical Center in Dayton, Ohio, by someone claiming to be Brian Lewis and the confirmed coward named Joshua Spears, who claimed privilege and authority to do such as the hospital administration's nephew, and then also Rebecca Lewis. I was then dragged under the supervision of Christopher McIntosh with an intention of rendering me cognitively dysfunctional, with specific intent to disrupt my memory functions for the rest of my life. Little did these none too smart individuals know I possess hyperthymesia. When I started having recall of such events and attempted to file an official complaint on Joshua Spears, Mr. Spears filed for a civil stalking protection order against me. My belief is that the Lewis Mafia that controls Dayton, Ohio, are major players in human trafficking, organ theft, and other acts of cowardly intent. Avoid any Kettering Adventist healthcare, as these people are Satanists and regularly participate in organ theft and other crimes against humanity. By and through the grace of God, I continue to recover and continue to expose these people in the punch bowl of life for the corrupt cowards that they are. These extremely demented individuals conducted pagan rituals wherein they, and then I don't think they have the rest of what he was, ooh, sorry about that. Oh, it looks like the sock has off-centered my video here. And so it caused my phone to almost fall off the platform here. Let me see if I can, I'm sorry about this, guys. This isn't really too professional. I'm having to juggle both my laptop, hold on. Juggle both my laptop and this phone, which is not really possible with only two hands. So I'm going to try to restabilize this. Sorry about this, guys. Trying to make this video as professional as possible. Okay, let's put the phone back on, or excuse me, the sock back on. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, sorry. So it does continue here. So, by and through the grace of God, I continue to recover and continue to expose these people in the punch bowl of life for the corrupt cowards that they are. These extremely demented, okay, I read this. These extremely demented individuals conducted pagan rituals wherein they claimed Caesar and such authority of Rome. However, these satanic people must still be having trouble with the fact that Caesar is dead and Jesus Christ, whom defeated the Roman Empire with the swords of words 2,000 years ago, is proclaimed as king. Amen. By people who truly love him the world over. Well, Caesar does little more than cook cheap pizza for anyone that has a few dollars. If you know about Pizzagate, there's another little dig in there as well. The Dayton area media is also controlled by this Lewis Mafia, so you won't see any news about them or their direct connections to Epstein, which are currently under investigation and will be exposed soon enough. Keep the faith and know that Satan is alive and living with the Kettering Adventist Healthcare Organization, and also know that these fools only have power over the foolish. Educate yourself, put on the armor of the Lord, and fear no evil, because the Lord will prevail. Note my living will and the link to the lawsuit in my profile. Okay, so I just have posts from the LinkedIn. I don't have the actual documentation. Maybe this subscriber will send me that as well. But I wanted to share that with everybody. Now, I want to revisit Arnold Schwarzenegger. Again, I've been covering Arnold Schwarzenegger because of the Arnold Classic. That's a major human trafficking hub in the Columbus, Ohio area that happens every year. And I believe now Arnold Schwarzenegger is a satanic pedophile. Well, lo and behold, somebody sent me this. Arnold Schwarzenegger's aide arrested for human trafficking. Now, I'm not sure where this was from. I've got to still track down the news story there. But evidently one of his aides, and I'm not sure what the date was either on this, so I'm still looking at this. But here's something even more interesting. Let's talk about Arnold Schwarzenegger's father, Gustav Schwarzenegger. He was part of the SA, Sturmabteilung. I don't know how to pronounce that, I'm not German. The SA was noted for its extreme perversion, which led to the Night of the Long Knives, if you're familiar about Adolf Hitler and his ascension to power and how he used the SA. But if we go to Gustav Schwarzenegger, he was an Austrian police chief, postal inspector, and a military police officer. He was born in Austria-Hungary, And let's see here. According to documents obtained in 2003 from the Austrian State Archives by Los Angeles Times, Gustav Schwarzenegger voluntarily applied to the Nationalist Socialist Party. Okay? So he was part of the Nazi regime. Of course, Austria fell under the shadow of the Nazi regime very early on in World War II, well before the United States ever entered the war. And let's see here. He was in the military police unit in November 1939, which was after Austria had fallen under the power of Adolf Hitler's Nazi regime. So Arnold Schwarzenegger's father is very, and if you guys know about Operation Paperclip and how many of the Nazis that should have been tried at the Nuremberg trial weren't actually tried there, but were under cover of the newly created CIA, they were brought over here. A lot of them were involved in satanic ritual abuse experiments. In fact, a lot of the survivors that I've interviewed have talked about Adolf Hitler's mad scientist Dr. Mengele. But a lot of the Nazis were involved in this child trafficking, satanic ritual abuse, the torture, the cannibalism, all of this stuff. And so I just wanted to highlight how, Arnold's father has ties to this. So it's very, very serious stuff. Now, I've talked about CMEX. I did lots of stuff on CMEX over a year ago when we first discovered their ties to the child sex trafficking camp that Veterans on Patrol uncovered in Arizona last summer. But I sort of revisited it because of the CMEX plants that were in Dayton, Ohio. I've talked about the patent for blood in the cement and all this stuff. I've talked about Hillary Clinton's tweet about concrete. People have also shown the Pope putting out a lot of stuff about the concrete. Well, another subscriber didn't give me permission to use his name either, but he said, "Thank you for reporting on CMEX. Not only are they part of the child sex trafficking and satanic pedophile ring, but so is Union Pacific with its rails. Many locations of the CMEX companies, Union Pacific is there. Not only are they connected in the child human sex slave trafficking, but both have used their resources to spread the weapons from Fast and Furious." Remember that scandal that Obama was involved in. Much information on these connections and the drug trade. A multi-billion operation by the Black Hats. Here are some attached map pictures. I thought I had roots of Union Pacific, but I think it is available at their site. They all connect. Thank you for being a voice. And so he has quite a few maps here of, there's just different lines for the Union Pacific. This is just specifically in the lower 48. The Union Pacific, actually, I don't think Union Pacific is here in Alaska. They might be, but I don't think they are. In any case, this is Union Pacific lines. Again, a lot of CMEX plants along these lines. And, of course, the interstate system as well, along a lot of these CMEX plant lines. I'm convinced that CMEX is very heavily involved in the satanic pedophile and even bearing and covering up these children that have been ritually sacrificed and abused. All right, so again, just a lot of news that keeps coming out of Dayton, Ohio. I sort of wanted to, because my topics that I'm exploring, they're very, very heavy, they're very, very dark. And, the joy of Yahweh is our strength. We're supposed to have a joyful and hopeful heart. I thought this was kind of humorous, and I wanted to share this meme. It says, "Breaking news, while the medical examiner was on lunch break today, Epstein cremated himself." I thought that was really, really funny, just sort of lampooning and making fun of the joke of the investigation on Epstein's alleged supposed suicide, which if you watch this channel, I don't believe he committed suicide. I don't even believe he's dead. I think he's still alive, but you can look at my videos from the past on that from my Navy intel sources. And then I really, really, really like this meme. I thought it was very funny and very, actually apropos. I think this is beautiful. "Uninstalling the deep state. Please be patient. Your country will be restored soon." Hallelujah. I thought that was really funny. Okay, so the wind's sort of picking up again. I hope the sock is working. It should be working. People said it was working yesterday. So hopefully my voice came through loud and clear despite the wind that's out here. If you like what I'm doing, if you appreciate what I'm doing, if you think I'm working hard and I deserve to be paid, this is my full-time career. I absolutely love to do this. And so if you want to help me out, the easiest way is my PayPal. That is a link right below this video in the description box. You have to unfold the description box with a little black arrow. There's a down arrow, or there's a show more. Or if you have a handheld device, there's a little upside down triangle. There's a bunch of different ways to unfold that description box, and you just have to fiddle with it. I also have a Patreon. The way that works is you just click on my Patreon link. It's also below the video. You can pledge any monthly amount you'd like, and that amount's taken out of your bank account at the end of each month. And speaking of my Patreons, thank you so much. I think I'm up to like 204 Patreons now. Really appreciate that. I remember when I only had just a few. So thank you so much to my Patreons. And then also, if you're old school, if you don't want to use the internet to send a donation, I have a P.O. box, and that P.O. box is also below this video. I do send thank yous to all my online donations, but I just don't have the time to write letters anymore to people who send me donations by snail mail. But if you enclose your email address in your snail mail, I will send a thank you. If you have a prayer request, you want our prayer team to pray for you, we will pray for you. We meet every single night, just like the first century believers did in the book of Acts. And so just email me. My email is also below this video. You have to, again, unfold the description box to find my email. I'll get it to our prayer team. We'll pray for you. It's a beautiful day. It's about 67 degrees on this August day. I have what now? Another month of summer left, August 21st to September 21st. But summer has pretty much ended here. It's now in our fall season. Fall usually begins anywhere from early to mid-August in Juneau. I love it. I love it. People have been asking me again, what's going on with Timothy? So in case you didn't understand, the whole case with Timothy it's for next week. It's next week. I made the announcement a few days ago that I'm traveling down there, but it'll be next week. And I will be flying out on Sunday, and I'll be going to his hearing, which is next Monday. And I'll be in Minnesota for a few days. I'll be returning back to Juneau, Alaska I'll be back here by Thursday morning. All right, y'all bless you guys. I hope you guys enjoy the beautiful mountains out there, the beautiful scenery, these pine trees. It is a gorgeous day here in beautiful Juneau, Alaska. I love, love, love living here. All right, God bless you guys. Shalom, shalom.